All right, all right. How you doing, everybody? And welcome to Off the Chest week of, let's see, today is November 19, 2024. This is our last show before Thanksgiving through the holidays, and then we'll see you in December. And then before you know it, it is the end of the year. But I love this time of year for Thanksgiving. ZMan, how you doing out there?
Hi, Joe Cap. I'm doing okay, buddy. I wish I was doing a little better on our weekly picks, but we're still doing okay. We're like, we went 3-3 last week, but I'm still alive.
Yeah.
In my suicide pool, or dropout
okay.
pool, or
That's
whatever
good.
you want to call it.
Yeah.
For some nice coin.
Nice.
Still alive. I had the fish last week.
Nice.
So I'm doing good. Other than that, man, I'm like all over the place.
Good deal.
I can just ramble about stuff.
You got it. Jake, how you doing out there?
Yeah, I'm doing great as well. Same old stuff.
Working on with the team.
Really
I know you got that going on, right?
Yeah, you know it.
Yep, that's awesome. We got a lot. We're definitely hitting on the college basketball, beginning. But obviously right now it's Thanksgiving. Couple things about Thanksgiving. It's probably my favorite, holiday. I got a lot of good memories about Thanksgiving. What about you guys? What do you love about Thanksgiving? What's the most that you love about Thanksgiving besides the food? What do you guys think?
I like for Thanksgiving for me, like we have a tradition, like my buddy has a big blowout at his house on like Thanksgiving morning.
Nice.
And it's just like the one chance of the year where it seems like everybody else gets, comes around, and it's good. You get a chance to see people, you have a couple of cocktails. Then by the time the Lions come on, usually most people just go away. They do their thing.
And snoozing. And usually by then everybody's snoozing.
Well, yeah, but this year I won't be, though, because the Packers are on.
Oh, at night?
Thanksgiving night.
Oh, yeah, that's right. What's the night game? Packers who?
The Packers and the Dolphins.
Oh, that nice.
Yeah,
all right.
It's a good day.
Yep, Jake.
We'll talk about it in our Blazing Picks because I'm going to actually pick those games as well.
Absolutely.
And people are like, yeah, I'm just going to go the other way.
Absolutely. Jake, what about you? What about Thanksgiving? What do you love most about Thanksgiving?
Well, right up there with the food has got to be spending time with close friends and family members for sure. Getting to see everybody after not seeing them for quite some time, especially, ones that can be away from home. So it's really good.
Yeah, this is going to be your first
How's college
time.
treating you, Jake? How's the college experience treating you?
I like it. There's pros and cons, but
what was your biggest transition? Like, what was the what was the best for people that have kids and they can talk to kids? This is good, man. This is good stuff. Like, what was the best thing about going to college? Like, what was the thing that you were like, yeah, everything is good?
I love the independence that comes with it. I find that to be really helpful, for my as I mature, through this life. It's really good to not only get out there but find my own way and my own path.
So, like, coming from Charlotte and going to Providence is, like, really not, like, a major city, but it's a pretty big city nonetheless. I mean, like, did you find it, like, kind of daunting? And you're like, well, because you knew people. When you were going there, you knew people, which helped you with the transition, right?
Exactly.
All right, so that's cool. So, is there anything you really, find hard about it?
No, not so much. I think my answer may have been different. Let's say if I would have gone somewhere where I didn't really have a lot of familiarity or a lot of familiar faces. But here, it's like it kind of feels like home. I've got a whole bunch of people around me that love me and that care about me. So it really the transition was very, very easy. I mean, I couldn't have asked for more when it comes to that.
That's awesome. Like Cap, like when
Yeah.
you went to college, like what was like the big thing for you?
Yeah, I mean,
Like,
well, it was that's simple. It was the baseball team because I only knew one guy, Tommy Haney, who was from Yonkers. I met him, believe it or not, in a summer league baseball game, and then met all the other guys on the baseball team, Brewski, Brisson, and the whole guys. All the guys, Tony, and it was just a great way to start. My freshman year to meet all the guys on the baseball team. So that was it for me once I was on a baseball. And Jake, I'm,
yeah,
I'm
I
sure
think
with the
it's like
basketball team.
it's the unknown.
Yeah.
And then when you got to find your niche and you got to find the right people for you.
Absolutely.
Like when you go, like they try to like put you with somebody on campus, and so you're going to meet somebody new, and you got to try to jive with them. But I think for me, it was like because I did the media thing at Oswego, which was really good for me.
Oh
I
yeah.
met people from like everywhere. I mean, I met sports people. I met people with like interests that I had. And then I had work study. So I worked at the tavern and I met people through that way. And then you just meet people like all different kinds of ways. And I guess if you assimilate quickly and you accept the fact that it's different, you want to learn about different things, it really enhances that college experience. But if you go with a set mind and you're just kind of like, you're not sure and you're just going to do what you want to do, sometimes it doesn't work out
Yeah.
that way. So,
It's
yeah.
it's definitely a life experience, right, Jake? As far as you're like you hit right on it. Your independence now. You're thinking for yourself. You're doing things for yourself. You get to decide what you want to do. I think that's wonderful. And right, Jake? I mean, what do you think?
Yeah, no, I'm with you 100%.
That's good.
All
Well, that's
right.
something to give thanks for.
All right. Absolutely. Yeah, there you
Part
go.
of the Thanksgiving
Give
tradition.
and
And like if people want, you could always chime in with us. We do have a mailbox that you can get in touch with us with. It's offthechest84@yahoo.com. Once again, that's offthechest, the number 84@yahoo.com. We'd love to hear from you.
absolutely.
We were getting some nice feedback about some different things. It slowed down a little bit, but if people listen and you have something to say, we'd love to hear it, and we'll put your comments on the air.
Yeah, whatever it is, whatever even if it's something like about, hey, what do you like or hate about Thanksgiving? What do you like or hate about the NFL? What do you hate or like about anything? Let us know, and we'll get you on, and who knows, maybe we'll get you on to talk on the show as well. All right, a couple things. Something happened today in the NFL, which I'm just going to touch on, is Mr. Joe Douglas has been let go by the New York Jets. So the Jets are officially a dumpster fire shit show, and they are literally going to clean house. And I don't know who's going to survive. I know the whole coaching staff probably will not survive. And then who knows with some of the players. But again, this is going to be a rebuild with an old quarterback. Sounds like a 10-year plan. Sounds like another Jet.
Okay, you guys on Off the Chest podcast. Stop talking about the Jets. You're polluting the airwaves. You're polluting the atmosphere talking about them. They're done. The only team to be preempted twice. People, it's unwatchable. Even the NFL knows that. They're going to have a poke your eye out night at MetLife Stadium where every person gets a pencil to stick in their eye so they can't watch anymore. There's been more yard work and sex happening during Jet games because people can't watch anymore. People are naming their kids Aaron or Roger, not because they love Aaron Rodgers, it's because they're doing it during the Jet games. They're terrible. You can't have them on anymore. To quote the late, great Iceman, I'm not going anywhere because I just shit green. That's the Jets offense. Don't talk about them anymore. All these poor Jet fans deluded into thinking we're going to go to the Super Bowl. We got Aaron Rodgers. His best years are behind him. You got a 41-year-old quarterback who's on the downslide. You need a new quarterback. Why don't you go sign Roman Gabriel? I think he's still available and alive. Enough.
So let's, I don't know if you guys even want to comment on it, but let's move on because I'm sick of it.
I just think you're in a rock and a hard place, both New York teams. Like, if you're we'll talk about them both simultaneously. If you're the Jets, first of all, you're stuck with Rodgers. I don't want to hear anybody saying he sucks, he's old, whatever.
Right.
You're on the hook for $49 million.
Yep.
If this guy wants to come back next year, you have to run it back with him. You have to.
Yeah.
Because
we got no choice, really.
Money is going to screw you anyway.
Yeah, you got no choice.
You got it. The trick with the Jets next year is you got to find a coach that's a player's coach that people are going to buy into. I have a name for you.
Good luck. Who?
Ready? Rex Ryan.
Yeah, well, I mean, he might be. Who knows? I mean, it just like I said, it's sickening just to even think about. The only thing I could say, and I'd say this with a little tongue in cheek, is, man, the Cowboys have fallen. I mean, the Cowboys are almost as bad as the Jets situation.
I think the Cowboys have quit.
Oh yeah,
Mike McCarthy.
Absolutely.
I think people like Micah Parsons are shooting their mouth off because
Absolutely.
they want out of Dallas, and this is the easiest way to go. And I just think it's sad, man. It's just sad where this franchise is going.
It is. I actually feel bad.
Until he figures it out, it's never going to change.
Yeah.
And with the Giants, I'm tired of listening to people saying Daniel Jones sucks. It's his fault.
Giants are a whole nother deal. Yeah.
It's everybody's fault.
Yeah.
If you're going to throw Tommy DeVito in there because you think you're going to make a spark, this team isn't that good.
No,
the Giants aren't that good.
Yeah. They're working. They're definite work in progress. I think they have a little bit more upside than the Jets do. And the Cowboys maybe a little bit more too as well, but not much. I mean, it's just like they have a lot of same issues. Who's going to, coach? I think Dable is going to stick around though. I don't think he's on the hot seat.
I think so too, because you got to give him one more shot.
Yeah, you got to get
because
him going.
He never had his own people.
Yeah.
He inherited everything.
Yep.
You got to find out what this guy can do with somebody new.
Absolutely. And then
and the other thing about the Giants, Joe, is I think two names you could think about for the Giants if you don't keep Dable. Okay? Bill Belichick is one, and Deion Sanders is the other.
Yeah, well, Deion might be going. I think he's going to the Cowboys somehow, but we'll see. I mean, that's why they play the games. One thing about the team that made a statement win this weekend was the Buffalo Bills. They look like they are, in business and ready to go after anybody in the AFC, and pretty much are able. I mean, listen, when you beat Kansas City, obviously it was at home. It's a regular season game, and even the players were even talking like, "Hey, it's only one game. It's a regular season game." Going to Kansas City and beating them in Kansas City is a whole nother ballgame, especially in the playoffs. But Buffalo at least gets a little bit more confident and be able to say, "Hey, we can beat anybody if we can beat the Chiefs." And of course, the Detroit Lions just mashed Jacksonville, although Jacksonville's got nothing. But I mean,
but they're all they were all banged up. But I'll tell you right now, the two best teams in the NFL still are the Chiefs and the Lions.
Yeah,
I just think that Chiefs
absolutely
was an aberration in Buffalo. Buffalo was due to beat them.
Yeah, it's like I said, it is a regular season game, and it's only one game. You're right. It's
I just think, you know what, the Chiefs were ready to fall. They hadn't lost in almost a year.
Right.
I mean, you know what, you can't keep going to the well all the time and not expect something bad to happen.
All right.
Well, the trick will be, we'll see what happens like this week and going forward with the Chiefs.
Gotcha. Now, college football, we got the rankings going on right now, right, Z-Man, as we speak?
Yeah, the rankings are going on right now. The number one seed is the Oregon Ducks.
Yeah, they're still number one.
They made it all the way to the Big Ten championship game.
Right.
They're going to be one of the teams in the Big Ten championship game. I guess the number two seed, like the way it's weird how they're doing this. There's like 4 seeds from the power conference, and then teams play teams. The top 4 seeds right now are Oregon, Texas, the University of Miami, and Boise State, and that's because of the conference champions.
Right.
And then it goes, it's like haywire. But I'll tell you what, I'm looking forward to seeing this playoff this time around. And you know who's going to get a big stake in the playoffs? There's two major games this week. One is Ohio State at Indiana.
Right. That's
going
a
to
huge
be a really
game.
big game.
Wow.
Yep. And the other one is, believe it or not, it's Notre Dame and Army.
That's right. That is
Like
another
Notre Dame
big
is
game.
up to 6 now.
This
week, Notre Dame is up to 6 in the playoff.
Yeah, I mean,
And
Notre Dame's creeping
I
up.
don't think they're going to blow Army away, Joe.
No,
I think
I
Army's
mean,
going to give them a game.
I don't know. What's the line? You have any opening line on that game?
Yeah, 14.
All right. Well, I mean, there's still Notre Dame. Yeah, I guess. I mean, listen, if Army could pull out a win, man, I would love to see Army go undefeated and really put a monkey wrench into this whole system. That would be awesome. I don't think it's going to happen, but I'd love to see it. What are your college picks this week?
All right, so we're going to go with my 6-pack, sponsored by the End Zone, 227 Park Avenue, Mechanicsville.
End Zone.
Awesome Sunday fun day.
Yes. That's all the people at the End
And
Zone.
Joe, by the way, you and Jake would both love $8.99 wings and
Yes.
$8.99 clams.
You can't beat that.
You can't beat that. So the End
Absolutely.
Zone's our sponsor. Last week we went 3-3. That brings our record to 19-13 on the year.
All
So
right.
what we're going to do is we're going to give you 3 college, 3 pro, and then we're going to pick the Thanksgiving Day game. So get your pen and piece of paper together, and here we go. In college this week, we're going to give you LSU. They are -7.5, and they're taking on Vanderbilt at home. I like them this week because LSU crapped out last week, so we're going to go with them. This time around, we're going to take Louisville. The Louisville Cardinal, 8.5-point favorites over Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh had their heart broken on national TV by Clemson.
That was rough.
Did you
Yeah.
see that game?
Yeah. Saw the end of it. Oh,
Yeah, that game was great. That was really good college
that
football.
was. Oh, yeah.
But we're
College football right now is in full gear. Full gear.
Yeah, so we're going to take Louisville 8.5 over Pittsburgh at home. And our last one in college is we got a small favorite. We're going to take Rutgers 1.5 at home versus Illinois. Rutgers is trying to change the culture, and they're doing a good job of Greg Schiano. I don't see any reason why they can't cover a short number. So it's Rutgers -1.5 at home against Illinois. So it's LSU -7. Let me just check that. Yeah, LSU is -7.5. So remember, if you're betting online and you're betting with your phone, you always get rid of the half. So right now, we're using the lines from scoresandodds.com. So it's LSU -7.5, Louisville -8, and Rutgers -1.5. Now, in the NFL, we're going to take 3 games. We're going to take 2 underdogs and a favorite. First of all, we're going with the Chicago Bears, +3.5 at home versus the Vikings. The Bears are 8-1 in their last 9 meetings ATS at home. Give me the Bears against the Vikings. I'm going to take the Seattle Seahawks. They're either a pick or +1, depending on where you get it, against the Arizona Cardinals.
Gino wanted to get what a big win for Gino.
That's the bet.
Unbelievable.
The Seahawks are 5-0 straight up the last 5 versus Arizona.
Right.
Give me the Seahawks at home. And we're going to take Miami, -7 versus New England. The stat that got me there was Miami is 7-1 straight up in the last 8 against New England. It's a short price, 7 points. Give me Miami. So we're going to take Chicago +3.5, Seattle at a pick or +1, and Miami -7.
Nice.
Now, what we're going to do for Thanksgiving Day, because we're not going to have a show because we're going to be enjoying ourselves, here's your Thanksgiving Day smorgasbord. Give me the Lions, -4 at home versus the Bears. Give me the over 45.5 with the Cowboys and the Giants because no one cares about that game. So I just think they're going to have fun. I think there's going to be a lot of scoring. Dallas doesn't want to get embarrassed, especially by the Giants on Thanksgiving. Give
Right.
me the total, 45.5 over. The night game, give me Green Bay at
Yes.
home, -3 against Miami.
The Pack is
Packers are
back.
tough at home. The Pack is back. And then on Black Friday, you have the Kansas City Chiefs playing the Las Vegas Raiders. You know what happened last year on Christmas. Santa was bah humbug, and the Raiders beat the Chiefs at home. So we're going to reverse the trend, and we're taking the Chiefs -7 against the Raiders. So once again, on Turkey Day, give me the Lions -4 over the Bears, the over 45.5 in the Dallas Giant game. We're going to take Green Bay -3 against Miami, and we're going to take the Chiefs on Black Friday -7. Those are your 6-pack plus a shot or two.
That's your Thanksgiving six-pack.
Opposites of the end zone. 227
Yes.
Park Avenue Mechanical.
Yeah,
Any thoughts?
I forgot about the Black Friday game. That's right. So you got a lot of football. You got college games as well going on. It's going to be a lot of football for us to talk about when we get back. And then we're going to start to scratch the surface of college hoops. But right now, we got Jake talking about what's going on in the NBA so far. Right and tonight, as a matter of fact, we have the Celtics playing the Cavs in that tournament that they do, whatever it's called.
We do.
What is it called, Jake?
We do.
That tournament.
It's called it's just called it's actually called the Emirates NBA Cup.
Right.
So it's this in-season tournament that they introduced.
So
last
tell us
season.
about this, Jake. I'm curious. Tell us about this.
Oh man, I wish it, to be honest with you, I wish it meant more. Like, there had been more implications for the winner. If it meant, I don't know what, but
Yeah,
maybe,
I know.
they get to make the playoffs or something. But
Yeah.
it's just, it's this in-season tournament where, the 30 teams get split into 6 groups of 5, and they play each other once, every team once, and then the best records move on to Las Vegas, I believe. The final
Yes, I
4
think so. Yeah,
move
Las
on,
Vegas,
and then they compete for a nice trophy.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
it's
man,
also-
too, right? Yeah, winning teams, they each get, I think they get a salary. I think they get some money.
I
out
think
of
they
it.
get $1 million.
Yeah.
Everybody gets $1 million, I think.
Yeah, that's what I think so too. Because didn't
Yeah.
the Lakers win it last year?
Yes.
Yep.
So if you're a guy
Yeah,
on the
that's big
bench,
money involved.
speaking of guys on the bench, if you're a guy on the bench, you get $1 million. I mean, that's a nice little hit.
That's a nice chunk of change.
Hell yeah. So I guess, they're pumped up about it. I mean, listen, everybody's pumped out for $1 million, but, what do you think so far, Jake, about the season? What are your surprises? Who do you like? Who's a disappointment? Give me some info. What do you think?
Well, I just thought I'd bring up, which I guess you can say is a bit of a surprise, is with this Cleveland Cavaliers team,
Yeah.
who has become the 4th team in NBA history to start a season 15-0. As of recording, they are 15-0.
That's correct.
So,
And they have the Celtics tonight, and it's on right
the
now as you
Celtics, they're
speak.
currently getting beat.
Yeah.
They're on.
Yeah.
It's a national game. They're down. It's early.
Yes.
8 minutes ago in the second quarter, the Cavs are down 4.
And then on Cleveland, Jake, right? 2 New York kids. We got Donovan, obviously, we talk about. And don't forget, Ty Jerome is on Cleveland now, right? Is that right, Jake?
Absolutely. That's absolutely right. And,
Now that all ties in with your son and your brother, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Those kids played together when I think they won the Nationals in 3rd or 4th grade. When they were, with 3rd or 4th grade. One of those years, they won the national championship. So they had a couple other kids on the team. Eric Pascal, for one, who was on Villanova, played a bit in the NBA. Obviously, those 2 guys, and they had a couple other kids who played D1 ball, and they were a great team back then. But
Yeah.
anyway, going back to the NBA, what are your surprises? Other surprises that you see? What are your disappointments? What are you thinking?
Go ahead, Jake.
Well, maybe I'll pass it to you, Z-Man. I want to see what you have cooking.
Listen.
I have to think about it for a minute.
When I was a little dude, I always rooted for the Knicks. And then one day I came across Bill Walton and became a Portland Trailblazers fan. So after he wore a headband, did some mushrooms, and won an NBA championship, I think in 1971. The Portland Trailblazers have basically been in rebuild mode. Now, I shouldn't say that because
Yeah.
Michael Jordan's crew beat them a couple of times in the finals, but they're just bad, man.
Well, they won.
It's a young team.
Yeah, they won a championship at what was it, 79 or 78? Is that the year they won?
79.
79.
They
Yeah.
won with they had Walton, they had Maurice Lucas,
Right.
they had Dave Twardzik, and then they had another stretch where they had like Clyde Drexler,
Right.
Terry Porter, Danny Ainge,
Yeah, that's right. I
Kevin
remember that.
Duckworth, Jerome Kersey, and they were good back in I want to say the early 90s, and then they just haven't been good. So I always watch the Knicks when they're on because they're the hometown team. But for me, the NBA during the regular season, unless I can't sleep and I'm up late, I'll watch TNT and I'll watch the West Coast games. The NBA doesn't do anything for me right now because
It's still early.
It's all about 3-point shots,
Yeah.
running and gunning, dunking. Nobody plays defense.
Yeah, it is a 3-point contest. I mean, I totally get it. I am starting to like the way the Knicks are playing. I am starting to like the way Cat has kind of starting to gel with these other guys. I think the Knicks can really kind of put a scare into the Eastern Conference.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say right now or they're going to be better than the Celtics, but let me tell you something. They're starting to look a little bit more dangerous every game they play, with Bridges and Cat.
Yeah.
I mean,
I agree with it.
and here's the other thing. You get Precious back and you get Mitchell back, and now you got guys off the bench. Even Deuce has been out hurt, so I don't know. What do you think, Jake?
Yeah, I do agree. And I also wanted to mention OG, how OG has been playing, not only defensively, but offensively. He's just been super aggressive. I think he's been a huge help. I think Thibodeau loves him. And I think it's a match made in heaven, him and Tibbs. It's perfect guy.
I forgot.
You know what else I like, guys, about the NBA? I will tell you something that I like early season that I am impressed with. The fact that ESPN picked up the tab and they'll be showing Inside the NBA with Ernie Johnson, Charles Barkley, Shaquille O'Neal, and Kenny Smith for like the next 11 years. But that was part of a settlement that Turner Broadcasting had with various cable outlets. Do you watch Inside the NBA at all? Have you ever seen that show?
You know what? I don't, but I probably should. I love when those guys do the TNT games. Yeah, I'm going to have to check it out.
You got to give it a shot. Jake,
Okay.
You ever watch Inside the NBA?
Yeah. So I do. So that's the show with the TNT guys.
Yeah, I was going to say. Yeah.
And it's going to be coming to ESPN starting next year.
Okay, now I got you. So it's going from TNT to ESPN.
Yep.
All right, now I got you.
Because TNT is losing the national package.
Gotcha.
Like NBA starting next year is going to be on NBC,
really?
ESPN, ABC, and Amazon. Amazon Prime.
Yeah, Amazon.
Yeah.
Now, you got Netflix. I think that we were talking about that Netflix picking up the fight.
Right with that, Joe, because I got
Christ.
something to get off my chest.
Go ahead, let's go.
All right. So, did you watch, Jake? Did you guys watch the Paul Tyson fight?
The last 2 rounds.
I did not.
I saw the last 2 rounds.
How did you see it? It was on Netflix.
I was able to get it.
And their server got overfed.
I heard, but I was able to get it, and it was a waste of time anyway. But, yeah, that's what I heard. I heard a lot of people got screwed.
And do you guys realize that Netflix is going to carry the NFL on Christmas Day?
That's right. We talked about that. Yep.
The Chiefs and the Steelers are early, and the Ravens and the Texans are at 4:00, and it's going to be streamed on Netflix. And if they don't get their shit together, and I can swear because we're on a podcast, if they don't get their shit together, like everybody wants to make money off of streaming because cable is failing. Everybody's pulling cable, and they're going to streaming, and they're pirating and everything else. But that was horrible. That Tyson Paul fight, it was just crazy. The fight itself was bullshit. Anyway.
Yeah, it was. It was a money grab.
Yeah, it was a total money grab. But the way that Netflix handled it, was horrible. And if they don't get their act together, Christmas Day is going to be a disaster.
Well, yeah, you're absolutely right. If they were just talking about that today, how like, all right, how many people watch the fight? But NFL and those numbers go through the roof. It's going to be more people than watch that fight.
Well,
And if that screws up, they'll be.
Howard Stern went off on the NFL and Netflix.
Yeah, exactly.
And he hit it right on the head. He said, if Netflix screws this up, there's going to be hell to pay.
Oh, no question.
Especially when you're going to probably a lot of people, like for the holiday, will probably go out and buy Netflix. I think it's going to be like for the month, it's going to be like $7 for the month. So you can buy like a trial period. You can buy Netflix for a month for like $7. But what's the sense if you can't freaking figure out your streaming platform? It's ridiculous.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. That's what they're going to have to get the technology right before they start buying these deals. And I think Amazon so far, but I mean, Thursday night football is you're not going to get as many eyeballs. But I mean, if you're going to get a Christmas Day, I think, and a Friday, Black Friday game, you're going to get a lot of eyeballs, and we'll see. I mean, we'll see how.
But I think Joe, with Amazon, it's different. Because I think Amazon, don't quote me on this, but I believe Amazon is backed by, I want to say, like CBS.
Could be.
The technology that Amazon has and the technology that Netflix has are two different things.
That's true. You might be right. I think CBS does have their hand in the Prime video coverage. I think Prime buys this, the game from CBS. So CBS does the work. You know what I mean? So I think that's true. I think you got a point.
But I mean, you can't have another clunker like you had for Paul and Tyson.
Well,
and I don't even want to talk about the fight. And not
I don't even bother.
Like the undercard was tremendous.
I heard.
And like the officiating was like the judges' scorekeeping. It was just absolutely. If you're Netflix and you turn this into a positive, then let me know, because I've got some like swampland I want to send you.
Exactly. All Seriously. Right. So moving on, now we have another rant from Tony. Tony the Stash Iglesias is going to take another rant.
Hey, Tony Mustache coming to you from Brooklyn, New York. Let's talk about what everybody's been talking about and continue to talk about. Do the Yankees sign Juan Soto? I say you have to sign him. All right? If you don't want to sign him, I'll listen to any excuse except money. Please don't tell me about money. It's not our money. It's not the fans' money. And, if they sign him or if they don't sign him. I mean, if they don't sign him, is your hot dog going to be a nickel less? No. That ship sailed over 50 years ago. We pay what we pay to go to these games. Okay? I never understood why fans are concerned about the payroll. All right? They got to sign him because he can carry a team. There's very few guys that can carry a team, and he can. Him and Judge, got us to the postseason. Okay? Look, Stanton stepped up, but I don't have a lot of confidence in Stanton. I mean, he's going to get hurt. He's going to get hurt. It's a question of when and for how long. The Yankees sign Soto. We got a good shot. Okay, they got to pick up a decent pitcher. Doesn't even have to be a Hall of Famer. Somebody decent that can pitch in New York. Okay, we have a history of signing guys. Kevin Brown, Sonny Gray, Nathan Eovaldi. This Rodon guy is probably going to fit into this conversation. Okay, Randy Johnson, Hall of Famer, didn't live up to his expectations in New York. A decent pitcher. Sign Soto, and we'll get to the postseason again. Okay, our lineup is not exactly murderer's row. Okay, Judge and Soto can carry the team. The rest of these guys, I got to tell you, there was times in the season, there was 5-6 automatic outs in the lineup. These guys got out faster than Helen Keller playing musical chairs. We got to sign Soto. Signing off from Brooklyn, New York, Tony Mustache. Be well.
All right. So that Tony is definitely wants Soto to sign with the Yankees, and he makes a good point. If it's about the money, he's right. You gotta sign him. If it's not about the money, then you better have a better plan B.
Right. At what point, though, are you going to spend money? Are you going to spend I'm telling you right now, it's going to be between $600 and $700 million for this guy.
Yep.
If you're the Yankees, are you really spending that kind of coin?
Well, they can.
Yeah.
They can. The Dodgers did it.
Should.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not saying that, who was saying that the fans complain about spending money? Who cares? Spend the money. I agree. Tony said it. He said it. Now when I think about it, he goes, do any fans complain about spending money? No. So spend the money. If you got to give him $700 million, who cares? I mean,
What are you going to get? Is he your savior?
Well,
he
he's good.
He did win a World Series last year with him.
But he's good for 10 years. He's good to be 10 years, unless he gets a crazy injury.
But the problem is, Joe, he's going to get more than 10 years. The contract's going to be higher than 10 years, like in length.
Right.
Because this is going to be his last real good money grab.
Right. Okay.
So are you going to run this guy? He's a marginal outfielder at best. And 5 years into this contract, when he starts into his 30s, he's going to start transitioning to a designated hitter position. So do you want to spend this money for the Yankees, or do you want to start spreading this money around? You need a first baseman. You need a third baseman. You could probably use another corner outfielder. Your bullpen,
Another pitcher.
Shot. And
Yeah,
you probably
bullpen.
could use another starter.
Well, I mean, I agree on all of that. But the thing is, who else is gonna pay for him? And if it's the Red Sox or it's Toronto, I mean,
the Mets will pay for him.
you know what?
I think
that's the only place that I could stomach him going to.
I'm going to tell you right now. Here's a rant. Right now, it's coming down to the Mets or the Dodgers. It won't be the Yankees. It may be the Blue Jays, but it's going to be the Mets or the Dodgers. The Dodgers are so well positioned with their youngsters coming through and the fact how they paid Ohtani with all this deferred money. The Dodgers could sign him. They can.
Well, I mean, like I said, it's if it comes down to money. What do you think, Jake?
Well, it depends really what you're asking, but if you had to ask about my personal preference, I would rather see him go to the Mets maybe than opposed to the Dodgers. Of course, I want him to stay with the Yankees, but if he were to go elsewhere, I think he makes the Dodgers just the greatest team that you have today. Might be, one of the greatest rosters of all time. I mean, Ohtani and Soto on the same team, that's unheard of. So,
yep. And I agree with you, Jake. If he's not going to go to the Yankees, I want him to go to the Mets. I do.
Yeah, I mean, if he goes to the Dodgers, I mean, come on, I'm going to throw up.
But I think the Blue Jays are lurking too.
Yeah.
I think the Red Sox have money.
Yeah.
You're not going to take a meeting. You're not the team. It's only going to be about the teams that are taking a meeting with Boris.
Yeah.
If he's up above ground and he talks about all the teams that are meeting, and there's no mystery teams that don't meet, you're not meeting with these guys if you're not serious.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No, absolutely. And to be
why
honest,
would you take a meeting if you're not going to be serious?
And here's the thing: if he wants to play with the Yankees or not. I mean, if he doesn't care where he plays, then I think the Yankees might be out of it. But I think that if he wants to play for the Yankees, then maybe we can get him. So that we don't know. We don't know.
Well, when you come out after the World Series and say, I'm open for business for all 30 teams, that tells me you don't want to be there. You're not creating a bargaining position for yourself to come back to the Yankees because you're alienating them.
Correct.
I know it's short, right after the World Series, you're I want to go to the highest bidder. But you know what? If you're really sincere about it, you're going to come out and say something positive. And by saying that, that tells me a lot. That you're open for business and you're going to go to the highest bidder. And I don't blame them. I don't. You know what?
No.
That's the way you should be.
I mean, yeah, exactly. But but Tony makes a good point. If it's about money, the Yankees should sign him. Because the Yankees have more money than anybody. They do have more money than the Dodgers. The Yankees franchise is probably, arguably, one of the most valuable franchise in the entire world. It's definitely the top 3.
I agree.
Right?
Oh, yes.
So why wouldn't you spend? It's an investment. See, I look at it like an investment. You will sell out games. You will sell all kinds of Soto crap. You will everything. You know what I mean? It's all you Judge and Soto, Gehrig and Ruth. Boom. There's your marketing campaign for the next 10 years, man.
But Joe, do you realize the fact that the Dodgers nailed both of those Japanese players, Yamamoto, the pitcher,
it's on the West
Aaron
Coast.
Ohtani?
They're on the West Coast.
But Joe, now they have a market, a global market, where they're just selling things left and right.
Yeah.
These guys are paying for themselves.
No,
now.
I mean,
Will
I agree.
Soto do that? I don't know that Soto's going to do that. I don't know that his star power worldwide will do it as much as the Dodgers getting these 2 guys. So when the Dodgers can jump into this, when the Dodgers have that extra money, where the Yankees have money, but the Dodgers have money as well. That's all.
No, I know, and the Dodgers spend it just like the Yankees. But anyway, we'll see what happens. We'll this will be, I'm sure, going. I think this might go on to the beginning of spring training, but we shall
I think it's
see.
Great. It's great for baseball because you know what? It keeps interest. We're talking about it.
But I want to see some of these other
season.
guys land places too. I want to see the Yankees make a couple of moves and get some other players and let's get rock and roll. But anyway, we got a long way to go. But anyway, I want to thank everybody for listening, and I wanted to wish everyone a happy Thanksgiving, a safe traveling as you're traveling, wherever you're going. Be safe. Don't eat too much. Don't drink too much. Don't drink and drive, and try to keep it cool around the holidays. Right, Z-Man? What do you say?
That's it. Happy Thanksgiving to you and Jake, your families. Happy Thanksgiving to everybody out there listening. Have a fun and prosperous one. We're coming into the holidays now.
Yes.
We're going to have a lot to talk about. Don't forget, it's off the chest 84 at yahoo.com for any of your comments. And I'm just wishing you 2 guys a great day. Now, Jake, you're going back to Charlotte, right?
No, I believe we're going to have a little something going on in New York.
Yeah,
Isn't that right, Dad?
Yeah, we meet up in New York. My other 2 boys are in New York, so we're gonna all get together in New York. I think we're gonna go with Uncle Rocco and Tsitsi and the kids, and we're gonna try to have.
Sounds like the Sopranos.
Yeah, we're gonna try to have a
you
nice
guys sound
get together.
like the Sopranos. You scare me. I'm glad I'm in upstate New York. You can't find me. I'm with you.
We find
all
you.
The way.
We'll find you, Z-Man. We know where you are. We know you're at the end zone. All right, everybody.
Yeah.
Jake, you got any last words for the Thanksgiving?
That's all. Happy Thanksgiving to all.
All right. Happy Thanksgiving, Z-Man.
Happy Thanksgiving to all.
All right.
To all good sports.
Yes,
Let's
good sports.
Win some money.
Let's win some money. We'll see you guys after Thanksgiving. Once again, thanks for listening to Off the Chest. We'll see you in a couple of weeks.